Right now you are not in control. You think you are. You feel like you are making decisions, choosing what to do next, deciding how to respond. You are not. In 1983, a neuroscientist named Benjamin Libet attached electrodes to the brains of volunteers and asked them to do one simple thing: move their wrist whenever they felt like it. That was it. Just move your wrist whenever you want. He measured 3 things: the moment the brain showed electrical activity preparing for movement, the moment the person became consciously aware of wanting to move, and the moment the wrist actually moved. What he found destroyed the scientific world. The brain began preparing for movement half a second before the person was consciously aware of deciding to move. Half a second. It does not sound like much, but think about what it means. Your brain decided before you did. The conscious you, the part that feels like it is running the show, was not consulted. The decision was already made. You were informed afterwards. You felt like you chose, but the choosing had already happened without you. Libet called this the readiness potential. Scientists have been arguing about it ever since. Some said it proved free will does not exist. That every decision you have ever made, who to love, what to say, whether to be kind or cruel, was already determined before you were aware of making it. Others pushed back. They argued that consciousness might still play a role in vetoing decisions. That even if the brain starts a movement, the conscious mind can cancel it. Libet himself believed this. He called it free won't rather than free will. But here's where it gets stranger. In 2008, researchers, John Dylan Haynes and colleagues at the Max Planck Institute took Libet's experiment further. Using brain scanners, they could predict which hand a person would move up to 10 seconds before the person was aware of deciding. 10 seconds. The decision existed in your brain 10 seconds before you knew you had made it. So if your conscious mind is not making your decisions, what is? Neuroscientists call it the adaptive unconscious. It is the part of your brain running constantly beneath awareness, processing information, making predictions, preparing responses. It handles roughly 11 million bits of information per second. Your conscious mind handles about 40 bits versus 11 million. Your conscious mind is not the boss. It is the press secretary. It announces decisions that have already been made somewhere else and presents them as its own. Psychologist Timothy Wilson at the University of Virginia spent decades studying this. He concluded that the adaptive unconscious makes most of our significant decisions and that conscious reasoning is often just a story we tell ourselves afterwards to explain what we already did. This is called confabulation. Your brain makes a decision, then it invents a reason. And you believe the reason completely because you experienced it as a thought. You did not choose that reason. Your brain wrote it and handed it to you. So what does this mean for how you live? It means that most of your habits, reactions, prejudices, and preferences were formed without your conscious participation. They were shaped by experience, repetition, and environment, and they now run automatically while the conscious you watches and narrates. It means that when you snap at someone you love, when you reach for your phone without thinking, when you avoid something that scares you, none of that was a conscious choice. It was autopilot. The good news is that autopilot can be reprogrammed, slowly, through repetition, through awareness, through deliberately doing things differently until the unconscious brain updates its patterns. The bad news is that most people never know the autopilot is running. They spend their entire lives believing they are the pilot, when the truth is you are mostly the passenger, and the pilot has been flying since before you were old enough to ask where you were going.